And for more analysis, we are joined from Washington by Peter Jull. He is a policy analyst for the Center for American Progress. Thanks for being with us, Peter.
Good to be here.
Now that he knows he will face a criminal trial, doesn't this harden Qaddafi's resolve to just fight until the end?
Well, it's kind of hard to harden something that's already pretty diamond solid to begin with. He has not really shown any interest in any sort of serious substantive negotiations on leaving power or finding some sort of arrangement to end the fighting that ends with Qaddafi himself gone or his sons, in particular Saif al-Islam, who, as the ICC rightly pointed out, is something of a number two in the Gaddafi regime. He has just shown no serious interest in that. There have been various sorts of proposals put out by Qaddafi, Saif al-Islam, and other people within the regime that have been immediately dismissed as not credible by the rebels, and it just seems like this is a marginal sort of hardening, if you will. It seems prior to this, it's hard to see how much harder Qaddafi's position could have been.
Well, let's understand how this is going to work, because the International Criminal Court really has no police force and no real way of taking a suspect into custody. It seems as though the only way he'll be taken is if the rebels can overthrow him, and given all that has happened, do you think the opposition will take him alive?
That's a difficult question to answer. I mean, that's the the million-dollar question of all of this, even questions beyond Qaddafi, like what comes next in terms of a post-Qaddafi regime in Libya. But it's very hard for me to see Qaddafi either being taken alive by the rebels or being wanting to have been taken alive himself. He may fight to the death. I mean, it may be an Osama bin Laden sort of situation where it probably won't be in anyone's interest where he comes out alive in the end, especially coming against a rebel force that has been abused by Qaddafi's regime for the last 40-plus years.
Well, speaking of that regime, it has dismissed the court's authority. So are we likely to see an uptick in violence against the rebels because of these warrants?
Again, I doubt it would be much more than we would have seen otherwise. The Qaddafi regime was fighting for its life before these indictments came down, and it's still fighting for its life after these indictments came down. It only marginally hardens their resolve to keep on fighting. But with the rebels making pretty substantive gains recently, I think it's looking a lot less likely that Qaddafi will remain in power for the near future.
Well, this month, Canada joined 6 other countries, including France, Italy, and Germany, to officially recognize the anti-Qaddafi forces as the legitimate leaders of Libya. So why do you think the United States and England haven't done that?
I think that the United States and England haven't done that because there is a question of what comes after Qaddafi. We probably do not want to privilege this this rebel government, no matter how much how impressive they are or how much we might favor their cause, because we simply do not know what is going to come after Qaddafi and how areas that are currently under Qaddafi's control and those elements of the Libyan regime who have continued to fight for Qaddafi will react to a wholesale takeover of the government after Qaddafi leaves by the rebels. And I think they just do not want to prejudice any sort of post-Qaddafi arrangement that comes up by siding with the rebels so overtly and closely.
All right, Peter Jull from the Center for American Progress. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.